gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play, 'cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day. It's my lucky day, my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day.
Hello. It is so good to be here. I am so glad you are here. If you are here, please drop a comment in the chat and let me know you're here. Mary, thank you for being here. It is so nice to have you. But do let me know that you're here. I really am excited to chat today and really excited to talk about journal prompts. So I want to just lead off with one of my favorite journal prompts of all time. And it's one that I used last week for anyone who is here. So what can you celebrate today? If you have not yet journaled today, I invite you to open up your journal, jot down your answer, or put it in the chat. I absolutely love to celebrate things with you. I am celebrating that Lauren Lefkowitz is here. Lauren, thanks for being here. Let's see. And Val said, Chris and Amanda at grab a snack in the intro for you. Yeah, I might take it out because I don't know. I don't really need to eat a snack at 8 o'clock at night. It's 8 o'clock my time. I don't know, just playing around. But yeah, definitely got the idea from Chris Hennessy for sure. But what can you celebrate today? I was thinking about this as I was gathering my thoughts tonight and wasn't sure what I was going to share. And I thought initially I might celebrate Andy's Candies. I don't know if any of you have heard my Andy's Candies stories. Years ago when I was young, like really young, I had this neighbor who was this classy old lady, and her name was Mrs. Dunn. And I loved the special occasions when we were invited to her house because she had this very fancy old lady house with lots of antiques and old lady things. Looking back, she probably just bought things and then took really good care of them. So she had them for a long time, but just her house was just so beautiful. And she had on the coffee table a crystal candy dish filled with Andy's candies. And if we were really good, she would let us have one. And I remember thinking someday I'm going to be an old lady and have a crystal candy dish full of Andy's candies. And for Christmas this year, my daughter bought me a crystal candy dish. And it is downstairs on the end table, not the coffee table, but filled with Andy's candies. And I just love how a small thing like that can just bring so much joy. Mary says she is celebrating clearing out a few things. Yes, isn't it the best feeling, like getting rid of things we no longer need, things that no longer serve us, whether they are like physical things that are taking up space and we have to dust, or just life things that we can let go. It is so beautiful to do that. I love this one. What are the chances of two Lefkowitzes here? I'm so glad you are here, Dina. So glad Lauren's here. I love it. Yeah, Mary, yum. Andy's candies are they're my favorite. Though I have lots of favorites. I really love gummy anything, but also really have a secret fondness for those orange circus peanuts. You know, those marshmallow, really gross kid, I don't know, candy. So apparently I'm an old lady and like a 6-year-old at the same time. So that's everything about me that you never wanted to know. So super glad you are here. Let's get into Let's get into it. We've got we've got a conversation going on in the chat. I love this. Yes, use the chat. Do let me know you're here. Do let each other know you're here. It's so fun to have you. Yes. Um, Val, I think it's really special too. And I think it's really special that my daughter, who just turned 18, remembered the story that I tell every Christmas, because every Christmas somebody gives me a box of Andy's candies in my stocking. So I just love that. And circus peanuts. Yeah. Hey, just out of curiosity, what is your favorite like embarrassing candy? Does anyone have something like super embarrassing that you absolutely love, but you don't want to tell people? Or like when you do tell them, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is like my favorite, but it like super is. Um, I also really like those Necco wafers. Um, those flat disc ones that come in a roll. I remember going with my papa to the local, I don't know, little local corner store, and that's what he would get me every time. I absolutely love them. Okay, enough about that, but do put your candy in the chat. I want to see them. I want to talk about journal prompts. But really, I want to talk about that feeling you get when you open your journal to a blank page. Um, and I think we all know what I'm talking about, right? Where you sit down, this is what you see, and you have the thought in your head, oh my goodness, where do I even start? Where the page just sounds super daunting, or it looks super daunting, and not knowing where even to begin, because we have so many thoughts but sometimes no thoughts at the same time. So I always think of the importance of having lots of different tools in our journaling toolbox. So lots of people say, oh, all you have to do is pick up your pen and start writing. And that's fine if that comes easily to you. But if you're somebody who just is so intimidated by that blank page, journal prompts are so helpful because it gives us really a place to start. So, what is a journal prompt? So, a journal prompt is just an idea of something to write about. It's often phrased as a question, could be a statement. And it really is designed to give you a starting place, because what is the difference between staring at this blank page and staring at a page, or starting with a page that has a prompt on it already? Right? It's a little easier to get started. All of a sudden, it's not a blank page. There's something there. And we have some direction. We have a place we can go. Um, it's a starting point. It makes it less intimidating. It also serves as a container for our thoughts. I don't know if any of you have ever had the experience where you just start writing and then you remember that like frustrating situation you were in. So you just start writing about it. And before you know it, you're like going down this negative spiral, because you're like, not only was this frustrating and this person was frustrated and frustrating and they did this horrible thing, but then there was this thing and this thing. And by the time you're done, you feel really worse than you did before. Anyone here that ever happened to? It totally happens to me. And I have to really watch myself. And really, anybody who is quick to spiral into negativity, anybody who is quick to go to the anxious place or the shame place or the sad place, journal prompts are really helpful because it does serve as a container to keep us safe as we're exploring. Because just like, I don't know, some ping pong game or something, right? Once the ball hits pong, that's what I'm thinking of. Once the ball hits the edge, it's going to bounce and stay within that container. And that's what journal prompts can really do for our thoughts. Just give them a place to stay, so we stay really in safe territory as we're learning and discovering. Um, Journal prompts are great for guiding our thoughts to places where we wouldn't necessarily go, right? Like Sometimes we don't know, we don't know where we need to dig to find the answers. Or sometimes we might be scared to do it on our own, but having a journal prompt to gently lead us there can really open the door to that conversation. And Mary says, yeah, it can get really negative sometimes and does help to get it out on paper. Yes, thank you, Mary. Yeah, there's nothing like journaling to just let those feelings out so we can move past them and move on. Um, yeah, so I love journal prompts for really digging and discovering, because one journal prompt can lead into another question, and before we know it, we're making all kinds of beautiful, amazing discoveries. Um, it's like magic. It really, really is. So how do you find a journal prompt? Where do they come from? That's a great question. Um, so I always say choose journal prompts that resonate with you, and they're all over the place. That sometimes the best journal prompts come from sitting and just thinking about what we need, right? So if you sit and say you journal in the morning, right? You wake up, you gather your stuff, you go grab your coffee, you sit on the sofa, you cover up in your favorite fuzzy blanket, and just sit for a minute. Sometimes a thought will come, and it can be as simple as, what do I need today? That's a journal prompt, right? Or what would make today great? Or what am I feeling right now? Some of those journal prompts, I always love when they come to me, because then I know it's really something that I want to explore because it came from me. Um, but journal prompts can really come from anywhere. We can find them, um, you know, just look around and see them. Like, and just be curious about the world around you. I always love journal prompts that are really simple, that are deceptively simple, and they shouldn't be complicated. And journal prompts, a really good journal prompt is one that I can come back to over and over again and either deepen my discovery or make new discoveries. Ooh, Mary said she has a journal she bought, 1,000 Things You Don't Know About Me. Great one for prompts. And her daughter, my daughter and I do another called something like 200 Amazing Things. It's fun to do them together. Yes, I love that. Um, there is magic in journaling, and there's magic in journaling with other people, and we can chat about that later. Yeah, so the best journal prompts are the ones that you can use over and over again. So some of my favorite journal prompts is this deceptively simple one. What do I want? Right? Have you asked yourself this? So often we are busy and we don't give ourselves permission to think about what we want, but there is magic for sure in defining it. And it's interesting to see what can come up as we ask this question. And then when you're done answering it, ask it again. Ask, what do I really want? And see what comes up. And if necessary, do it a third time, because maybe initially the answer is, I want a nap, right? I really want a nap. It was daylight savings and my body is catching up on missing an hour of sleep, and I just really could use a nap. Well, what do I really want? I want to not feel tired. I want to have energy so I can really show up everywhere I go as the best version of me, right? And really, what do I really want? Dig through it until you find something that really, really resonates. And then you can ask yourself this one: why? Why do I want it? Why is that thing important to me? Right? And that's really great at getting past what other people want for me, or what I think I should want because of what is important to other people. But really, why is this a thing that I want? And why is a really great clarifying question that you can pull out almost any time. And just like I said before, asking yourself, what do I want, a number of times, you can ask yourself why over and over until you really get at the heart of it. right? Why do I want to journal? I want to journal because it makes me feel good. Well, why? Well, it makes me feel good because I can let out my emotions. I can process things that I'm thinking and feeling. It allows me to discover and learn more about myself, right? But why? Right? Dig and dig until you find those answers. Um, yeah. And Mary, Mel Robbins' High Five Journal and the 5 Minute Gratitude really go hand in hand. Do those daily and jot a note about the daily stoic. Ooh, sounds like you have a really great practice. We should talk more about that. I'd love to hear more. Um, but journal prompts can be used really in your journaling at any time. I love to use journal prompts in my gratitude journaling, right? I think we all know this one, right? What am I grateful for? But I love to go a little bit deeper and also ask myself, why am I grateful? And how can I show my gratitude? And I love, love, love this practice because it really deepens my gratitude and allows me to really feel it. So if I say I'm grateful for my phone, um, right, I'm grateful for my phone because it makes my life so easy because I can keep everything I need right there at my fingertips. All of the information I ever need is there at my fingertips, and I have the ability to really connect with the people that I love. So why am I grateful? Well, if I didn't have my phone, keeping up with those relationships would be so much harder because I couldn't just pick up the phone and call or text somebody. I would have to write a letter or call a landline or um, go visit them. And that's not always easy or possible. So, how can I show my gratitude? I can show my gratitude by calling my mom, by texting my sister, by sending my brother that funny meme, by recording a video message and sending it to my friend in California because our schedules never sync up for us to talk on the phone. So that's how we're communicating these days, right? So just thinking about it that way and using those prompts to really um, uncover what's inside really helps me access my gratitude. And I love the feeling of doing my gratitude practice in that way. Yeah, Mary, I'm a gratitude practice fan for sure. It gratitude makes everything better, and using journal prompts in our gratitude practice can make that practice easier, especially if you're one of those people who's really fallen into the pattern of just checking the box. Right. Before I go to bed, I have to write 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that I have a job and that I have healthy kids and that we had meatloaf for dinner. Right. Sometimes just making lists feels very checkboxy, but using journal prompts like this can really help us dive deep and really feel that gratitude, which is the most essential part of a gratitude practice. We can use journal prompts to set intentions for the day. I love, love, love to do this and started incorporating this in my journaling a couple of years ago um, and came up with some questions that I loved that I used every day. And I actually wrote on the inside cover of my journal to help me remember to do them. And so I used what is the most important thing for me to do today? If I go to bed only having done one thing, what is that one thing? That'll make me feel like a success, right? I ask myself, how can I show up as my best me? What does that look like? And it's interesting to see where my answers are because sometimes my best me is firm in my boundaries. And sometimes my best me just keeps my mouth shut and keeps my head down. And sometimes my best me gives to other people. And sometimes my best me knows that I need a nap at lunchtime. Um, I like to ask myself, what does my soul need today? What is something I can do to fill my spirit? Um, and the answer again is all across the board. My answers are very seldom the same on from day to day. I've asked myself, how will I feed my mind today? What is it I'm going to do so I feel smarter and more energized? How will I take care of my body? what am I specifically going to do? Am I going to move it in a certain way? Am I going to drink plenty of water? Am I going to pay attention to what I put in my body? Right? What is it that I'm going to do? Oh, I love this, Lauren. Your best you is your best if you're in choice. Yeah, absolutely love that. Um, and then I ask, well, who do I need to connect with today? Who is somebody that I just need to let know I'm thinking about them? Sometimes it's my mom, sometimes it's my husband, sometimes it's a coworker, sometimes it's a friend. Today you love this. Today it was listeners on my live stream. So that's you. I was thinking about you today. Um, so thank you again for being here. I'm so happy you are. And then one of my favorites is what can I celebrate today? Because life has more opportunity for celebration than we give it, right? Sometimes we think that celebrations are just for special occasions. They're for weddings and birthdays and anniversaries and meeting giant goals. But also, celebrations are for things like crystal candy dishes full of Andes candies, or text messages from a friend we haven't talked to in a while, or celebrating we were supposed to get a big snowstorm and instead we just got rain, and that makes me very happy and is totally worth celebrating. um, right, so using journal prompts to really set intentions for the day and how I want to show up um, is really, really powerful. So if you've not done it, I invite you to try it and see what it does for you as you move through your day. Over time, I've refined my practice and I made myself a one pager with some journal prompts on it. These have my new journal prompts for this year that are aligned with my theme for myself, which is nourish and taking better care of myself. But I keep my answers here on this clipboard above my work desk to keep them top of mind so that I remember my answers. Because I don't know if any of you are familiar with the feeling of coming up with really great answers in your journal. And then you do this, and it's like your answers just disappeared, right? Anyone ever happen to you? Yeah. Happens to me all the time. So I discovered if I pull out my answers and put them where I can see them, I'm so much more likely to remember to do them, which is the coolest thing the next day to look back and say, oh, well, I did all of those things. Sometimes I add a checkbox to them before I go to bed. Um, Journal prompts you can also use in the evening as you're winding down. If you are an evening journaler, right? Maybe you use prompts like, how was my day? What made today great? How did I show up for myself? That's one of my favorites. How did I show up for myself? And what did that look like? Did I exercise when I really just wanted to open a bag of chips and sit on the couch? Um, did I refill my water bottle 4 times? Did I um, did I finish that big project? Did I hold a boundary firm? Right? How did we show up for ourselves? And that can tie in super nicely with what can I celebrate? Because showing up for ourselves is always worth celebrating. Um, so journal prompts. Um, you can buy you can buy books with journal prompts in them. I always tell people take a look at them before you buy the journal and see if it resonates with you, because if a journal prompt doesn't resonate with you, you're probably not going to use that journal. So I thought we'd do something super fun today. Who's ready for fun? Yes. So I have this bag from my local Barnes and Noble. It's actually right next to the library where I work. So I popped in after work one day before work, and I just picked this journal off the shelf. I gave it just a very cursory glance, and I thought we would look at it together and just kind of see what we think. I loved it because of this cover image. It says, "You are the magic you seek." And I love that. It's gold tone, it's shiny. So the cover is super appealing. Um, and then as I flip through, it starts with you. It belongs to you. You can write your name in it to make it feel like yours. And this is a journal for looking within. And I absolutely love using my journal to learn more about me, to dive in deep. And it's got some beautiful illustrations, a quote. This prompt: what are signs that your intuition is speaking to you? That's a good prompt. Ways to activate your intuitive nature. Oh, I actually like this so much more than I expected to like it. It has dot grid pages, so if you are somebody who likes that, um, usually I'm a ruled line kind of person, but I kind of dig it. What have you always wanted to do or learn more about? Um, and then more of these kind of illustrated pages with this is give yourself permission to follow curiosity, a step-by-step action plan. This would be really good for somebody who um, wants to journal and wants to have guidance, but also wants to have some space constraints. Like, I want to know I can explore right here, and when I'm done filling the pages, I'm done. Val's got a great question. What do you do with dot grid pages? I've seen them before, but wasn't sure of the purpose. You can just write on them. Sorry, that sounds like a really flip answer. Dot grid pages are really helpful for people who do bullet journals, because if you're going to draw a grid or graphics, it helps to make straight lines. I think that's why people love them. I'm not a bullet journaler, so I'm not sure. But you can just use the dots like lines and follow along. I have some dot grid paper I've used in my calligraphy. I wouldn't buy dot grid paper on purpose personally, but I don't hate it. I do like that the dots are pretty thinly ruled. You can't super see it, I don't think. But I think it's about the equivalent of, actually, it might be thinner than college ruled paper. Yeah, the more I like about them, the more I look at it, the more I like it. I actually plan to return it because I probably didn't think I would like it, but I actually super love this. Creativity brings you closer to yourself. I love that. I always find when I'm feeling not quite like myself, the first thing I like to check is the last time I created something. Because usually the answer is it's been too long. Yeah, Mary loves dots. Awesome. Yeah, dot paper. It's now lots of really grid paper too. Ooh, grid paper. I've never used grid paper other than math class in high school, so I like that. How can you give yourself space to process negative emotions? Yeah, again, this is You Are the Magic You Seek, a journal for looking within by Kristen Drozdowski, I think her name says. Really, I did not expect to like this journal as much as I did, because typically I'm a little bit of a journal snob. This is what I like my journal pages to look like. I generally find things on the pages really distracting. This really looks fun for me. I may play with it and see what I think. Oh, Lauren. Um, I'm loving your self-discovery here. Yeah, even talking about journaling is really, it's really a great avenue for self-discovery and self-awareness. I've learned more about myself through journaling than I ever could have dreamed. And the best part is there's so much more left to discover and uncover. Oh, and Mary's got some great advice here. She says, dot grid pages or grid pages, maybe you're talking about. It's cool to do layouts with, enjoy doing washi tape and all that. Yeah. I love all of that stuff too. I purposely don't do it in any of my journaling because I did get too caught up in all the stuff and don't do any actual journaling. And this is where I do my processing. These are what my pages look like. So where to find journal prompts? I will tell you, you can find boatloads of journal prompts every week. Oh, I didn't mean to do a ticker. I'll do this. You can find journal prompts every week in the newsletter I send out Monday mornings. It comes out at 7:35 a.m. Eastern time. You get a short-ish article. Usually it's pretty short. An article, something to do with journaling, some journal prompts related to it, a fun journaling idea, and sometimes some other goodies. So do sign up. You can find me at goodthingscometothosewhojournal.com. Sign up for my newsletter and be on the list for Monday. Where else can you find journal prompts? Follow me on LinkedIn if you are not already. I share lots and lots of journal prompts there. Look at other people's posts, right? So many great questions on LinkedIn. Find them, use them. Pay attention to the world around you. Music, art, quotes, people, the squirrels playing on your neighbor's bird feeders out your window, right? Anything can be a journal prompt. Anything that gets you thinking, definitely a journal prompt. And I use journal prompts in all of my programs with all of my clients. It's really, really fun to do because we all start with the same prompt. We all go on our own journey of self-exploration, and then we come back and get to share what we learned. And it's really cool and it's really magical. And if you want a taste of what that's like, once a month, I do a journaling mini retreat. It's coming up next week, next Wednesday, March 22nd, 7:30 p.m. That is Eastern time. It is free. It is an hour. It's an hour set aside for you to get to escape from the world a little bit, to have a little bit of company and accountability with your journaling, and just have a whole lot of fun. So if you are free next Wednesday, interested in joining, you can register for free. The link is here on the screen, amandastern.as.me/retreat. I will be putting an invite out on LinkedIn. I'll post about it, but do find me there. Do come. It's really great. I'm super happy when people come out and journal with me because I can see the magic happen. I love when we do this work together because we get to see people's wheels turning. And as we share, people learning not just about themselves while they're journaling, but also really learning from other people and what they share and putting the pieces together. And it is the coolest thing to watch people light up when they make those discoveries. And it's really cool to walk away with an increased knowledge of ourselves and to do so in a way that we can't quite do when we journal on our own. So we are in this work together, my friends. So I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you for sticking with me. Really appreciate you and the energy and the magic that you bring into the world. I want you to remember that good things come to those who journal, and you absolutely deserve them. And if you are somebody who's thinking, oh, I've tried journaling, that sounds really great, just can't make it work for me, let's have a conversation. Find me on LinkedIn. I know it's something you can do. There is a way forward in journaling for everybody who wants one. Sometimes it just takes a little creativity to get there. But remember, journal prompts are super helpful. Find them, find me, find them. Keep your eyes around you. Be curious. With that, I am done. I will see you folks next week. Bye, everyone.